what we've learned is as well, is you spend a lot of money going for the jobs because everyone wants a nice job. The design and build jobs are the ones that are going to get you really good case studies. Yeah. I'm not saying that traditional jobs don't, but they're like bread and butter, but everyone wants to do really nice design and build jobs. To win them takes a lot of money, costs a lot of money and a lot of resource.
And like such small things can make such a drastic change in like the percentages of the bottom lines to companies. Like, why do we operate on such tight margins?
It's not a choice, is it? It's demand. When people start lowering the margins, there's only one person that's going to get hit with that, and that's your subcontractors. And there's going to be deals done with them. Some people probably aren't going to get paid as much as they thought they were going to get paid. Mate, you can hear some of the horror stories from my industry.
That is one of my favourite things about our industry, because you're in the thick of it on a project, right? If you've got teams around you and like, you know when it gets tough on a project and you are really in the thick of it and you've got to rely on, become like, you build a relationship with certain people and you love it, and then you just think like, do you know what, on the next one, I'll really help you out on the next one because you help me out.
Do you know what's the best thing? What I love about this industry is that you can go onto a site like with a week to go and the client's like, it's not going to be done, and it's like, and then within like 3 days, like snap, and it's done. It's like, I just love it.
What would you consider is the most annoying contract?
Deal with, or just to be on site with?
Just to be on site with.
Electricians. Yeah, fuck. So I think everyone can back me up on that. Like, electricians, easy. Because they leave stuff everywhere. They chop wire and throw it on the floor, and they're just like, yeah, well, that's a labourer's job. No, it's not.
Mr. Plastow.
Colin, how are you?
Not bad, my friend. You right?
I'm back.
I was going to say you're back. You were like,
am I the first double guest?
You are the first double guest.
Oh my God.
It can only be you, mate. It can only be you, mate.
Thank you.
I was actually saying to Joe off camera today, it's weird. Like, how long ago was I recorded with you?
Mate, maybe like a year ago now.
Probably was.
Yeah, it actually was.
Do you know what's even funnier is, I don't know if I told you this, Joe, but Ollie actually rang me a year ago and was like, how did you even get my number out of interest? I used
some software to get it. I use like a Lusher, it's called. You can get people's numbers from LinkedIn. It's like all legal.
I'm talking to Joe, but also to you and the camera. But like, you were like, Cal, I want to come on your podcast. I was like, who are you? You were like, it's Ollie at Consensus.
See, Joe, you got to shoot your shot sometimes. You can slide into everyone's DMs.
Love that, mate, so much. But mate, you're the first double guest.
Thank you.
So, mate, this is a slightly different type of podcast, just for the people listening. Because Ollie, obviously we've done Ollie in Consensus before, so we're going to have a bit of a ramble about the industry. A few different topics, a few quickfire questions.
Yeah.
And then,
try not to offend anyone.
Yeah. But I do want to have a little chat about, you know, like how are you guys getting on? Like, because you guys have been, in the last year, you guys have grown exponentially since, we recorded.
Well, so like since last time, you say that, but since last time, like, we've actually taken a dip, and do you know what? People this year, everyone's taken a dip, and either you've been hiding under a rock to know that the UK's not had much growth.
Yeah.
I think it's very evident, like recently, especially with the budget, that we've had a year of not much growth, and that kind of shown. Like when we first met last time, we just finished our record year, and we had so much stuff on the board, and we were like, we're going to go for another record year, and everything was great, and then Mrs. Reeves gave her first budget, and for like a lot of people in the country, things stopped, it grinded to a halt, and we basically, I'll be honest with you, we just about made it through the year. We made a small profit, which is obviously good, but there's a lot of people out there who didn't make it, and people, lost their jobs. Like you can see employment's at a record high, people have been losing their jobs left, right and centre, and I feel like over the last year, like especially with like LinkedIn, the power of the social media it's become.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who just make it out like they've had a major successful year.
It's been hard.
Let's be honest, people haven't.
No.
If you've made record numbers this year, well done, because you've really done well, because a lot of people haven't.
And you're from the city, like you're from one of the big cities.
Yeah,
I
Manchester.
say that because you're from Bournemouth, but like, has there been unemployment in our industry specifically?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have lost their job in and around Manchester and other cities as well. Yeah. I saw it as a bit of an opportunity that I always believe when things are down, it's time to reinvest. I feel like there's no better place that when things are down that you can kind of rethink, recoup, get a really good strategy going. And that's not like just taking cold showers in the morning, drinking black coffee. But you can get a good, you can get
me in it.
Yeah, of course it is. With your bloody saunas. But yeah, you get your strategy going, and that's kind of what we've done. And going into the new year, we thankfully this year we're 2 months into the new financial year, and we're doing really well. Like we secured pretty much last year's turnover already throughout the year, not just to deliver now, but. It's great. We won our biggest ever project on a design and build basis. We beat a competitor that we really wanted to beat too on a design and build. So yeah,
that's giving you a right smack on the old face, hasn't it?
Mate, absolutely. Like the champagne being popped.
What is it with beating someone on a project? I don't know what that is.
Because because it's competitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, mate, you know, you can sit here and you can be friendly with whoever you want, but at the end of the day, it's a competitive industry and you want to win. And, you know, it's dog eat dog, isn't it? And it's survival of the fittest. And, you know, there's people out there that you want to beat.
Business is competitive in general.
Yeah, of course it is. And I think it's healthy to have a competitive atmosphere within an office. Not like screaming and shouting at each other, but it's good to have competitive nature in a good way. You know, everyone talks to each other. But, you know, when you get that tender through and, you find out, everyone finds out who they are because people are pricing for one another. And, yeah, you want to win, don't you? But, yeah, consensus is good. We've added a few more staff.
Yeah, I was going to say,
this week.
What about the team? Because the team
we've added 3 more people. We've added another project manager, an estimator, and then we've just hired another designer, which is great. So we've added. We've needed to because we've added turnover this year. Well, this small amount of year. Financial year. So yeah, it's going well, mate, and we've got plans to add more, which is good.
Have you found leading the charge whilst you're growing?
Well, it's between me and my dad, isn't it? And obviously George as well. So obviously I can talk about them now because you met them all. Because we work together now, which is a massive benefit that's come out of us having a chat. Yeah, for instance, last time we've done loads of work with each other. We speak on the phone like nearly every day.
I was gonna chat about that at some point in this pod, but ever since me and Ollie did our last podcast, we basically become mates. To be fair,
yeah, we have.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
we
I'm gonna go David Lloyd after this.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah,
which we'll touch on later for sure.
Do you know what? Like the question of leading, it's not me who does it. Like I said, it's everyone. Everyone has their part to play, and that's the beauty of having a small business, isn't it? It's that everyone's got a role and everyone's got a responsibility. And as long as everyone's rowing in the right direction, yeah, you need a cox at the front of the boat. But it's a small part. The people make, and I've said this last time to you, it's the people that make the business. You don't want to be that person who's sat there shouting at people, bellowing from the top that this is what needs to be done and this is the strategy. Get a good consensus, take it away, decide what's best, and then, relay it to people. And don't make it forceful. Like make not a choice because you need to be firm with what you believe because it's your business. But at the same time, introduce things subtly, see how people pick it up, and then implement and allow people to grow as well. And that's kind of what we've done. Like I said, my dad's got a massive part to play in it.
Yeah.
I like the numbers and I like the sales kind of thing, but he's leading the PM team, and we've got 2 young lads who are way beyond their years and delivering projects way beyond their years. And, that's a massive part. And then, since taking George on, he's grown us massively from a point of actually developing this like design and build arm, which without him, we probably wouldn't have done.
He's coming on here.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
He's coming on the pod in like a couple of weeks.
And he'll probably have a different tone to me. But that's what makes like consensus great. Like, I'm a bit of a cheeky chappy. Well, I say so myself, but a bit of a cheeky chappy and a bit, loose, and George really adds that, like, I don't like to call it corporate because I don't think that's a good slang, but a bit more professionalism to the operation. But I think you need both sides. Like, no one wants to just be, like, ultra corporate professional all the time.
Nah, it's boring as well.
Yeah, and it's like, you want to appeal to different people as well.
And what I find funny as well, sorry to interrupt, is when I recorded with Fraser on one of my last pods, who was one of the original members of Third Way. They're obviously a massive company now. And like one of the reasons he mentioned why he ended up leaving was because it grew too much and he's better working with a small team of people.
Like there's some great companies out there that I know that don't want to grow past a certain number because one, if you've decided it's a lifestyle business for you and your partners or you and your business, then okay, that's cool. If you want to grow your business to 100 million like some of them have, and that's also cool. But I always believe like in everything, just stay in your lane. It's like stay in your lane, decide what you want to do within the company. And we've had that conversation before. Obviously, you have so many people on here that I feel like at some point, like you've obviously like, we had the conversation, didn't we, where you kind of wanted to
Mate,
grow.
I nearly got influenced by the people I had on here, and I thought like, we're a smaller company, like we're a smaller fit-out company, and I nearly got influenced by some of the people on here because I was thinking like, I want to do what they do. And I remember I rang you and I was like, no, I'm thinking about doing it. You were like,
don't.
You need to have a little look in the mirror, mate, because I remember you saying something like, I'm not saying you can't do it by any stretch.
Mate, I would never tell you not to do it.
Yeah.
It's what we've learned is as well, is you spend a lot of money going for the jobs because everyone wants a nice job. The design and build jobs are the ones that are going to get you really good case studies. Not saying that traditional jobs don't, but they're like bread and butter. But everyone wants to do big, really nice design and build jobs. To win them takes a lot of money. It costs a lot of money and a lot of resource. If you don't already have that in house, then it's a massive effort to do it. And like I said, like credit to George, he had loads of experience doing it previously and building teams. And you know, without him, we wouldn't have done it, and we would have fell flat on our face. And it, you know, has it gone 100% well? 95. There's been a couple of, you know, cock-ups, but I just think like if you've got your niche and you're good at something, and you know, why go for like broke all the time? And I think you can. It's like anything in life, though, isn't it? You can be easily influenced by like others or seeing others,
especially when you're sat here talking to them and like, you know.
Yeah, but you're getting one perception of. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Big companies give you the perception that everything's fine and rosy. You'd never know, right? Take ISG, for example. Did anyone know they were going bump? No. It was all nice, rosy, winning awards, wasn't it? And then next minute, you know, bang, thousands of people lost their job. You don't get a full perception of people. No, I'd rather tell you the truth than, you know, hide behind the curtains and tell you that everything was rosy when it hasn't been,
So that actually leads on nicely. So we spoke about then the magnitude of cost that's put behind pitches and winning jobs.
Massive.
So like something that one of the topics I want to dive in today is the realities of working in D&B and just in construction in general. Because from the outskirts, you know, when I speak to my friends, like the order value that we have, with clients, it looks amazing. And then when you actually dive down into the numbers, like some of my friends who work in other industries, they're like, is that all the margin that you make when it comes to the bottom line?
Well,
so like the tight margins are something I want to discuss today, and like, you know, client expectations and, you know, just like ridiculous deadlines from clients on projects. Like, give us an insight. Let's have a chat about just that.
Well, it's not like from top to bottom, isn't it? It's like from subcontractor to fit out to client. Stuff gets passed down the hill and up the hill, but the pressure from the client gets put onto us, and then we put the pressure onto the subbies.
Yeah.
And, you know, we live in a day and age now where everything's on your phone, isn't it? Yeah. Everything's on your phone, or, you know, just grab a coffee from downstairs. Starbucks takes 2 minutes. You're not having to wait for anything. And everything's at a click of your fingers. And people want everything like yesterday.
Wasn't like clients?
Yeah, clients. I want everything yesterday. I want, you know, but the pressure from my clients comes to me, then onto the subbies.
The thing is, you are right.
But it's all monetary value, isn't it? That's the problem.
You are right. So like the whole expectation thing, I think that is just as a society, we are so impatient. Because my girlfriend says all the time to me that I'm so impatient.
Right. If you order something online.
Yeah.
I'm the person who pays £3.49 for next day delivery because I can't be bothered waiting 3 to 5 days for free delivery. So that gives you that gives you the example. So I'm not the only person who does that. We'll pay a premium package for a year on a website that we like for 50 quid to get next day delivery because you don't want to wait. You want that pair of trainers or you want that new t-shirt tomorrow to go to the gym tomorrow or whatever. So that's like anything else. People want their new shiny office tomorrow.
And which is interesting. It's more of like a societal problem in terms of like the lack of patience.
Yeah, because
but it relates to our industry because you are right. Like we have, you know, like clients and end users, etc., who are like, why is this taking so long? Like, why is this not done now? I need this now. Can you give it to this now? And I'm like, I'll try my hardest. And I'm the same. So like, you end up having to pass down the pressures, didn't you?
Yeah, and you know, you never want to say no to a client, but there's a certain element of education that you have to do, and whether people decide to understand it or not, like you will get the odd person who just doesn't care what you say. And that's fine. Like everyone has clients like that. You need clients like, I'm not going to come on air and, you know, and neither of you going like, oh, clients moaning about them too much. But
not at all.
Would we like a little bit more time? Yes.
Sometimes time.
Yeah, and do you know what? We've got some amazing clients who get it. But there's some that don't, and that's okay. But after you've done one project and they can see that it's a bit rushed, and you sit down and you have a lessons learned, and that's the best thing, isn't it? You have lessons learned at the end of the day. You go, right, how can we do this next time better? You bring people in for workshops, take a little bit more time. But the problem is as well, you've got it throughout. So you've got clients got rent-free period, they need to get in, there's designs, and people might leave it to the last minute. I wish you could find a resolution for it, but you're not going to be able to do it.
It's because there's so many differences, individual little niche differences in projects, isn't there?
Yeah, but like if you're doing traditional work and you've got a QS, you're working through a consultancy, you've got a QS and a cost consultant, a designer, and the package is already done.
Mate, it's unreal.
Yeah, they're really good jobs, but again, the end user is way back there, and you probably might even never meet them.
Yeah.
And that job's just done for them, but that's been like 12 months in the making. So when you're dealing with end users, it can be a little bit more difficult. But again, it's just an education process, and it's a societal problem, isn't it? So.
It actually is. How about that? I touched on it very briefly a minute ago, but our industry is traditionally worked on really tight margins, and like such small things can make such a drastic change in like the percentages of the bottom lines to companies. Like, why do we operate on such tight margins?
It's not a choice, is it? It's demand.
Yeah.
And it's like everything, right? Again, I'll bring it back to just like the open world, like the internet. Again, I'm not trying to sound like an old man, but the internet opened up a range of possibilities and it's caused society like major, not problems because it's had like major impact and really good impact. But right, you want car insurance, what do you do? Go on GoCompare.com, it brings up 10 different things. You want like this price runner, you want a new iPhone, go on Price Runner, it'll tell you where the cheapest place is. Everything's at a click of your button again. Click of a button, and you can get prices. It's just about competitiveness. You go onto Google, it's no longer word of mouth. Everyone spends loads of money on marketing. Look, you pay for a podcast. I've done the same. It's marketing products, isn't it?
Yeah.
It costs money. So as a client, you go onto Google and you type in office file Manchester. There's 50 companies that come up on Google. There's 24 just on the first page. What's stopping you emailing every single one of them and getting a quote off every single one of them?
Wait for this.
Nothing.
I've got something even more little dived in that. You said a minute ago that people just want to go on their phones and they want to look at. You can see how much things are straight away. We were doing a job for someone who owns a car showroom the other day.
You can go see where this is going.
This isn't actually. Sorry, it was about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
We priced it, put our cost in.
Yeah.
He rings us up. He's like, oh yeah. So what type of sockets have you allowed for? And I'm like, just X, Y, and Z. He's like, yeah, I've been on Amazon, and or was it Screwfix? Might have been something. You can buy them for this much. Yeah. And I'm like,
but again, it goes back to that. Like, and then that happens all the time, mate. And it goes back to that. And again, I don't think it's choice. I think it's just competitiveness.
Yeah.
And it's clients are making it competitive. Some clients just want to negotiate with you. Like we've had that, especially with end users as well, where you just, you get a good feel about you. And I think you just got to stick to your guns. Like, we don't drop our margin. We have to make a certain amount of money to keep the doors open.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
We're not lowering our margins to make money back. When people start lowering the margins, there's only one person that's going to get hit with that, and that's your subcontractors.
Yeah.
And there's going to be deals done with them. Some people probably aren't going to get paid as much as they thought they were going to get paid. Mate, you can hear some of the horror stories from ISG and some of the horror stories. And mate, you go onto LinkedIn all the time and there's people complaining about not being paid. Pay your subbies. I said it last time. Just pay your subbies.
That was the next one I was going to go on to about the realities of working in the industry is main contractor, subcontractor.
Yeah.
And I will make a caveat comment, by the way, in terms of the paying for subbies. I do work for you guys. You are by far the best payers we've ever worked for.
I appreciate that.
So and the only reason I say that is because some people have come on this podcast and they've said things, but
firsthand.
But they've said things like, someone might come on and say like, oh, you should always pay yourself. You should do this. But I'm thinking like, I actually have heard, not this you, but about the guest, I've heard that you don't do what you're saying to the camera that you do. Yeah, so because you've just said you've got to pay yourself, I wanted to just say that you do actually do.
Yeah, because you posted it, you didn't at the time, but you posted a message from Lockie, one of our project managers, and he chased you to send your invoice, didn't he?
He chased me. He said, mate, can you send your invoice? And I'm like, this is unheard of.
That's a credit to my dad as well, who we know that you're only as good as your subbies, and we need subbies to help us grow, and our subbies have grown with us. And again, I'm not going to hide behind the curtains. If I say something, I mean it.
Let's have a chat about that. The main contractor, subcontractor, non-payment, relationship side of things. Like,
just
why do you think that there's probably a load of different niche reasons as to why the relationships fail and people don't get paid? But like, if you could, kind of summarize it a little bit, like, why do you think maybe tier 1 and tier 2 don't pay their subcontractors?
It's not like, the margin, because they've dropped their margin to beat their competitors. That's your problem. Stick with that. Stop driving to the bottom. There's also an element of like, okay, you're relying on workmanship. So I get it. Like, you can value, if you've got a big package and you value something and there's loads of like mistakes, okay, fine. If you need to take some money off to get, and the person doesn't want to come back, okay, you can kind of agree with that to an extent. I think there's ways and means of going around it, and it's not something that we practice ourselves because we don't need to. But obviously you hear about it across the industry. So I think there's that. And then just...
Do you think it's like a problem? Because I recorded with...
Well, people are bonused.
Yeah.
QSs...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Stop bonusing.
Yeah.
I will look into the camera. Stop bonusing your QSs to rip subbies off. Like, stop it now. Like, if you're doing that and that's your practice, then shame on you. Like, you should genuinely be named and shamed. Like, stop doing it. We had it. Actually, we had it from a tier 1 contractor where we've just gone to legals to get our final payment. They didn't have a leg to stand on. And they got 15 grand off us. Great. We had to, otherwise we're going to enter in a legal battle with them. Yeah. And it's just like, why? Why? That's our hard-earned money. We haven't done anything wrong.
It's stealing. It
is stealing. It's corporate stealing, and that's exactly what it is.
That's what it comes down to my mind when I hear things like that. It's like you're actually thieving from that person. Like you've stolen that money from them.
You know first, like you've said before, like did your uncle not get taken for?
Yeah.
Not lose his business because he got taken for
years ago by a few main contractors.
And he completely wiped him out.
Yeah, and he actually he paid everybody off out of his own money. So he had subbies, everything. He paid everyone out of his own money, out of his own. It is literally his own personal money.
And and they just did it because what?
Because they can. Because there's without diving into the nitty and gritty of the story, but like I'm sure there's people listening who know, but like sometimes there's actually nothing you can do. Well, there might be always something you can do, but I think sometimes a lot of people
they butter you up, don't they?
Yeah,
and I know from speaking to other subbies, they work for us who've gone through the similar thing where they butter you up, they get you on site and they go, yeah, don't worry, there's loads more work coming on the back of it, and it's the age-old thing of dangling the carrot, isn't it? Oh, there's another job, make it up on another job, and then once those jobs stop, you're left with the book.
And you get caught in that, you get caught. So I spoke to someone else on here who was a subcontractor as well, and he said that he got caught up in the game of there's another job, yep. And then he got to the point where he actually really needed that other job to be able to keep the lights on with the business and at home. So like it wasn't like he's like chasing, oh, I want more money. It's like I actually need that job, otherwise I'm not going to be able to pay my project manager. I'm not going to be able to. Literally to the point where he was like, I'm not going to be able to put food on the table at home. Yeah.
The thing is, it's like we can sit here and have an open conversation. And like, if you think that what we're saying is wrong, then I challenge you to come sit on this podcast and answer the questions.
I would love to.
But they won't do. They won't do it. So what?
Well, no one will. They literally won't.
They'll laugh at it and go like, ha ha ha, and they think it's funny. Like they genuinely, they all think like it's funny. Because we've been sat in a room with people across from us and they genuinely just don't care.
Yeah.
Like I said it last time, like how would you actually go to bed at night knowing that you just ripped people off?
I wouldn't be able to sleep. I literally wouldn't be able to sleep.
But that's just like, again, it just gives like the industry a bad rep, and we're not in that game, so you just have to kind of distance yourself from it and just hope that there's a slight reform. But at the same time, it's like, how about we all stop taking retentions off subbies as well? Like,
retentions?
Right, so... a couple of years ago, someone said that we weren't big enough, even though we weren't big enough to take on a £2 million job, which I don't understand why. But anyway, the computer said no. And we made the point, basically put us into a procurement system and they were like, yeah, we're medium risk, even though we'd worked for that client before in the same building on a job more valuable than that, but they got this procurement system in. And anyway, whatever. Cut long story short, I said to them, how can I be a risk when I cash flow your project for the first 8 weeks, then I get paid. And then at the end, I do 12 weeks and then I don't get paid for 24 weeks, my end settlement.
Yeah.
And then you take 2.5% of my basically my profit, which is your last payment is basically your profit, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. You take 2.5% off me for me to then come back. You don't need to do that. Why don't we just say, I sign a piece of paper saying, if I don't come back, I owe you the money that you've just paid me, or I owe you the 2.5%. By law, I owe you that, or put it in escrow. Don't just take it, because there's times where you don't get that money because someone's gone bust or they just don't pay you.
But also it's annoying because not only can they and do they sometimes use that as leverage to get you back to the job to put defects right, which is fine, I get that.
Yeah.
It's more they then use that as leverage for other things as well, like next jobs, and they keep it going. You might come back for the defects and then they don't pay you it, and then they want you to do something else, or they ask you in that little interim period where they should have paid you, can you do this, or
can you just? Can you just? And just it's just a horrible thing when someone goes to can you just, and it's like obviously being PM, have you ever done a job for someone and it's like, again, I'm not bashing clients, but have you ever done a job for anyone? They go, can you just, and you do a favour for them, and then suddenly that becomes like the biggest snag on the list, and it's like, I'm not even been paid for that, and it was just a can you just, and it's yeah, everyone's been there, haven't they? Everyone's been there, and it's like, I did that as a favour for you.
And it's the worst.
You get paid.
Hilarious, mate.
But you could sit here to the cows come home, couldn't you, and just have a rant about it, but it's real world issues, and it's like it just never gets solved. And
nah, you're right.
There needs to be some sort of legislation / protection from the to the contractors, from top to bottom.
But mate, I mean, I've spoke with so many people on here about this, and I haven't been able to. And people who come in here, they can't figure out like what you can actually do in terms of like how you can get around this. As a one thing that actually what you mentioned as well today is I had someone on called Paul Hemming who runs C-Link, which is like a QS software company, and he said the one of the best things that the whole industry can do in terms of completely abolishing QSs getting bonuses through bash and subbies is literally not to make their bonuses about bash and subbies. Make it about who can get the best supply chain feedback, who can deliver the project on time. Yeah. Little things like that, and you get your bonuses on delivering the projects on time, not how much money can you squeeze from people out of the project. Yeah, which I thought was an interesting one.
Again, it's like everyone's got their own idea. None of them's right, but unless you have it across the industry, then it'll never change. And do I ever see it changing? Probably not. So
they tried to do something with retention maybe a couple of years ago.
Did they?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think it ever passed, but I'm sure they tried to do something with
it. But it's like the government then will make us do more work. Like now we've all got to do that reverse VAT kind of stuff, and it's like, and you've got to save your VAT money, and that became a problem for people because it's pressure upon pressure upon pressure constantly on contractor. The main contractor, it's just pressure, isn't it?
No, you're right. Another thing I want to talk about is just business development in the industry. We were talking off camera slightly about this, but like where do you see business development is in our industry nowadays? Because you've got loads of different people doing it in different ways.
Everyone's got their own style, haven't they?
Here's a question.
Go on.
Here's one for you. How much weight do you think holds just being real when you're trying to develop business over trying to be something that you think the future client wants you to be?
100%. We got asked we were at an event, me and George were, and someone said they put us forward to a client. I won't name the names. Nationwide client. They went, oh no, they're too immature for us. Too immature. Right, this company's got. We work for FTSE 100 companies. Yeah. We're not too immature for them. Yeah. I put a LinkedIn post about it, and I was just like, don't call us immature because we try and do different ways of marketing. Like, what's that even? What kind of comment even is that?
Like, you know what I think as well is the person that's maybe identified you and whoever you and Lockie maybe as immature is if they take off their corporate facade, they are also probably not saying they're immature, but they'll probably also do the similar things what you do. So they don't actually think it's immature. They've probably just got someone over them saying, or they've got criteria to tick.
Like you always have to be real, don't you? Like
literally. That's my thing. And the reason why I said this is because I see people moving. D&B industry is hilarious for like people moving around jobs. God. You know, 1 minute I'm a business development director of this company, and next minute I'm at this company, and I scan LinkedIn and just look at like where people have gone. And like I look at some of the elder people who are in business development in our industry, and I just look at them and think, what are they doing to develop business? I wonder.
You can learn a lot from the older guys and women in the industry. Yeah. Because I still do think like, I had a really good chat with a client the other day who I'm quite close with, and one of his comments to me was, I really like that I'm slightly old school. So I mix both. So he doesn't really go on LinkedIn, so he doesn't see all the stuff that I do, but I'm still old school with him. Like, I'll just give him a call, I'll go out for coffee, and I don't hound him. And I've just cultivated a really good relationship with him, and he likes that kind of thing. And he was like, he said he gets loads of cold calls of people like saying, can you set up a meeting for your director and stuff? Like, I don't actually cold call people. Like, I will email people or I will message people on LinkedIn. I'm not a big cold caller, one, because I'm actually crap at it, so I don't do it.
But how funny is it that if you want to, and I spoke to a guy called Faisal who come on the podcast before, and he's from a corporate BD, corporate sales type role, and he came on here and he basically something he said, or the stem of what he said was that it's funny because like being yourself is so undervalued, and to the point where you don't actually people look at things like, how can I try really hard to develop business, when you don't even need to try hard, you just need to kind of be yourself.
Yeah,
which is the easiest thing to do.
It's like people buy from people, don't they? And it's but also like you see it, don't you, on LinkedIn, that people go after like a tone, like a company tone. What's a company tone? Like, we all speak from the same voice. Like, it's not a communist party, is it? It's not the USSR. Like, people buy from people, and like I said before about me and George, right? People really like buying from George, but may not like me.
Yeah.
Put the right people in front of the right people, and use your personality to cultivate different clients. Like, if you all speak from the same voice, same corporate voice, you get one type of client. Like in everyday life, like, always be real for yourself. Like, I don't, but like, I'm probably
you're real. I
am real. I am too, like, I just don't like, I've always been like that. My dad's always taught me like that. It's not, life isn't a popularity contest, is it? So, but you're the same as well. Like, you're real, and your uncle's exactly the same, and the people around you.
But don't you find as well, as if you are just generally real, just yourself, you will usually attract the people that are similar to you anyway, and you just become like you and I, right? We're just normal people really who are real, and then we're mates. Like, and there's probably other people out there who are similar.
The best clients that we have are people that you've built friendships and amazing relationships with. Someone you could ring and go out for a beer on a weekend with, and it's that kind of relationship are the ones who you value. If you think about, if you speak to someone who's fake, and then they walk away, and they might give you a job, but they might go, oh, what a dick he is, or like back chat about you behind your back. When you're in the thick of it and you do something wrong, guess what? Under the bus.
Yeah.
So you're better off dealing with people that you want to deal with. And
what's wrong with that in our industry? That was another thing I was going to talk about today, is the bus throwing in our industry, the lack of accountability. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, that's just... do
you know when you just... I
just don't think there's any account... There's not much account... do you know what, actually? I think more accountability's coming. Like, I feel like... What's really good about life at the moment is like everyone's into fitness, aren't they now? And I feel like everything's accountability in fitness, and there's a lot of accountability in life now, and I feel like that's going to start creeping in. But I feel like it's just competitiveness. It's just competitive, and it's easy to throw someone under the bus. Like, why have you got a particular? Have you got a particular story about when you've been thrown under the bus? Or?
Yeah, mate. It's just, you know what it's like. But like, I just think, when you. So we've got some subbies, right, that we use, some electricians, etc., that we use, and like this said electrician that we use he's just renowned. He's good. He's just renowned for being a smart ass, and he's never wrong. Like, even when he's wrong, he's not wrong, and like he like
it's dealing with blokes.
But it's just annoying. So I'm like I don't even care if you're wrong or not. Like, we just need to sort it out. We just need to get it done. And he argues to the nth degree about why it's not actually his fault. I'm like, mate, I don't actually really care. Like, can you just sort out?
It's just dealing with people, isn't it? Like, you get some people who are really good, and it's just having process and having, the boring corporate side is just having process and getting everything written down and making sure your information's right and they have it all. And you do get people who will just go, not my problem, mate, and all that kind of stuff. But that's just, that's just dealing with blokes, and that's just dealing with
our industry as such, to be fair.
Just general everyday life people.
Yeah, that is true.
Just general everyday life. Like, I feel like it goes back to people just aren't as friendly with each other anymore. And I feel like, again, like, value on relationships aren't valued anymore. Like, I just genuinely think that. I think that, and I get loads of suppliers and subbies like popping up into my DMs, which is fine. Like, I respond to people, and sometimes, if anyone wants to call me out, like, sometimes I can be like, not a bit of a smart ass about it.
Not that architectural company, is it?
No.
Not going to say it.
No. But it's yeah, it's like also, but it's thing is, I'll get like a message and it'll be like 10, like, and I genuinely could like want to reply to people all the time, but like when you've sent me like 10 messages, like clearly probably not interested, or I've not got back to you for like a reason probably, and then I'll be like, listen, you sent me 10 messages, like if I was going to give you anything, it's obviously too much now, like just send one message. And if you don't get a message back or you send your second one, just leave it and just move on to the next person.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like people don't actually do their research. So like a lot of people, like suppliers and subbies, a lot of people like will message me and like it literally says sales director in my role on LinkedIn. I'm just a director, but sales director. And I get people like, oh, can I come on your supply claim? Can I come on your tenders? And it's like, well, you're better off just speaking to the office. Like I can't help you in that thing. And then people are like, oh, why? And it's like, well, because I don't deal with like the day-to-day subcontractors. Like we have a process of onboarding people. You need to do a PQQ. Yeah. We need to verify you, and then you need to speak to like the estimator or one of the PMs you're going to be dealing with to see if they want to deal with you. Oh right, and it's like again,
do your research before.
You got to like just click onto my bio and you'll see like.
One thing I wanted to quickly say, I've tagged with back something you said earlier, because I also want to make this like a positive conversation as well, is that you mentioned earlier about the relationships and how you can go out for beer with clients or whatever. That is one of my favorite things about our industry, because you're in the thick of it.
There's a lot of camaraderie, isn't there?
You're in the thick of it on a project, right? If you've got teams around you and like, when it gets tough on a project and you are really in the thick of it and you've got to rely on people, and then you can, sometimes I love that, because you're like in a team and you're working towards a goal, there's camaraderie, and then, you almost become like, you build a relationship with certain people and you love it. And then you just think like, do you know what, on the next one, I'll really help you out on the next one because you help me out.
Yeah, you got to, and we've got loads of people like that. Like not so long ago, project in Leeds, and we were slightly behind. And I was just going out buying people loads of biscuits, just buying loads of chocolate. It was Halloween, so I bought loads of sweets for everyone. I was just like, if we all get this section of work done, I'll go out and like I'll buy everyone a beer on Friday, whatever. Like again, there's loads of camaraderie and some really good people out there, like really good. That's what I love about our industry. Who really like knuckle down and help you, like severely help you, and will do anything for you, because they know as well, like you value that, and you'll give them the next job. And I do love that about the industry, and I've made some like great friends along the years as well. Give us
a example of a tough project that you've been in the real trenches. And like, give us an idea of like the camaraderie behind that and how you guys managed to get out of it, because there's always a tough project out there.
Well, did a job in Exeter actually, and I've never worked in Exeter before.
It's a long way from
me. And we weren't behind actually. The client said, "Could you finish 3 weeks early?" And it's just before Christmas. And I love this client, so I said yes. And I was just like, "Listen, lads, we're just gonna have to grind it out. Like, I'm sorry, I've said it." But we're gonna have to grind it, and there is more projects coming, and there was, so we could make it up on the next ones, and the client knew that as well.
Yeah.
And we just nailed it. And I remember at the time I had like 9 projects on at once, and I was doing like 1,500 miles a week in my car.
That's mental.
Yeah, and it was coming towards Christmas, and I rang Lockie, who's also my cousin, and I was just like, I really need you to come down and help me. Like, I'm so swamped. And he just came down and he was like working like 15, 16 hour days.
Love that.
He was on the paintbrush and everyone was there just grafting, and it was Christmas as well. And it was just like everyone had that goal of getting home, and everyone did what it needed to be done to do the job, and it got finished on time. And I didn't think it was going to get done. And it was just, do you know what's the best thing? What I love about this industry is that you can go onto a site like with a week to go and the client's like, it's not going to be done. And it's like, and then within like 3 days, like snap, and it's done. It's like, I just love it. I think it's
everything can change, can't it?
Yeah.
Within those 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how, by the way, like just comment on that story, is how nice, because you will never forget your cousin Lockie who did that, and like the people who helped you on that job. You just won't forget it.
Yeah, we've got a great thing in our office. Like everyone, like I actually couldn't wish for a better team. Like I watch your podcast and people don't come on and actually like voice like how proud they are of their teams. Like we are genuinely like so proud of everyone that works for us. Like everyone pulls in the right direction. Like, you know, you've got George and Lockie in the office until like 9 o'clock at night. Some nights just get jobs done and get tenders out because they see the goal and they see the vision. They know that a piece of the pie can be theirs. And I think it's just a great atmosphere to have. And I wish that more people would speak about, you see like again, I'm not like having a go at the bigger boys, but like stop posting projects and start posting about your teams.
Yeah.
Like that's what people want to see. Like, oh, you got, you know, I've just done a 12,000 square foot project. Like, look, it's been nominated for an award. That's great. You get nominated for an award every year. But what about the people who've done that? Like, don't just, oh yeah, we've done it. Like, well done. It's like, why don't you name the people who made that happen?
Love that.
But there's a lot of egos at the top.
And also, like you say, because the posting around the projects as well, like I used to do it, like not to the extent that big boys do, so we're a lot smaller, but like I used to do that. And then I just think like they're boring posts because everyone in our industry,
good mix.
Everyone posts around it.
Yeah.
Like everyone but like unless you're doing like a real authentic post rather than just like an end of project photography and then comment it in like 12,000 square feet, design a build, blah, 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 blah.
I don't get me wrong, like I do them because you have to do them.
Nah, but like, you know, the ones like the mid project photos where you actually say like site managers doing this and this, we got this guy doing this, and you're really in the nitty gritty and you're posting about it. They're the good ones.
Yeah, they are good. Like you don't see many people doing that. Like,
no, you don't.
You don't. You just get the end. You get like, oh, this is what we've done. This is amazing, and it just gets boring. Like, switch it up.
How much do you enjoy your LinkedIn personal branding? I
love it. Like, I love it, but it's just something I genuinely enjoy doing. Like, it's like tailed off actually a bit recently because I've just been busy and like just not lack of content. Like, I did a post not so long ago where like I felt like I wasn't myself and. Not like myself, like I think I'd gained some weight and I just didn't want to go on camera like I'm all right saying that. Like I just didn't. And then I got myself like fit again and I'm happy, so I'm going to start doing a little bit more. So that's kind of like a real thing. Like I just didn't want to be on camera because I just didn't like myself at that moment in time. So there's going to be some more video content coming, which I really enjoyed previously.
Yeah.
And it's just like having the time to do it. But like I love doing my LinkedIn. I love showing people like the art of the possible. And you know, I started doing it a few years ago, and then everyone does it now, don't they? But it's like you can kind of see like everyone kind of like picking up and doing it again. But I feel like, do you know when you're just going back onto your part about BD is?
Yeah.
I feel like the clients can be more accepting of people coming to them. I think everyone has their clicks and their favourites, so that's great. And they're hard to break down. Eventually you do break them down, obviously. But it's like, I feel like there needs to be like a new way of networking. I think like gone are the days where everyone's in a room like talking to each other, and I think like that they're kind of gone. I think the real values of the one-to-one conversations.
Mate, that's so true.
Getting a one-to-one conversation can be tough, but getting those one-to-one conversations, sat there across the table, being real with one another, and just not like pressuring people for work and just
not even speaking.
You know,
about
I had a guy, and I really like his content actually, and he's kind of saying, you know, he's not struggling, but you know the work was a bit slow and feels like he's doing everything right, and he's going to like local networking groups and stuff like that. But I feel like you can lose sense of like, I remember in my early days, not saying that I'm like the all-seeing eye of like BD because I'm not, so I wouldn't actually say that I was particularly like a guru about it or anything. But I just know that when I used to go to like the local networking events and stuff, I just didn't I didn't enjoy them, and two, you get caught up in talking to the wrong people. Like you have to go after the people that you need to go after. It has to be right. Set a list of targets, what industries you want to go for, make a wagon wheel, like where you see your turnover being, and go and hunt down those people, and you know go back to it at the year and go right. Did we do that? Like you know we do like a racy chart and you know, and stuff like that where you keep yourself. It's just allowing ourselves to be accountable. So I feel like. You can get yourself. What I'm saying is, you can get yourself caught up on low-level networking.
That I was going to mention that earlier because that is,
and it costs.
Yeah, and like, that's what I've seen people doing in our industry is like posting that they're going to like these little networking events, and I'm thinking, looking around the room because they tag people in it, and I'm thinking, unless to be fair, there is a targeted client there. I just think, what's the point?
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like things might come out of them, but do I think like that's the best use of my time? No. So. I can only speak from my experience. Yeah. And I know a lot of people who have grown fail companies haven't done that neither. So, I've never done it. Well, at the start I did, but...
That's why this platform is in, like, podcasting is so powerful, mate.
No, 100%. Like everyone wants a visual explanation of what... Like, and people want... Right, I know that most of the people watching this are going to be competitors. and you can have like the real story. You
Yeah.
can see like use it as your weapon against me if you want. That's absolutely fine. But it's like the strongest form of content is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like fair play to you for continuing and grinding through it, because like this is hard work. Like preparing it. Obviously, I did it myself, and it became too time consuming for me.
It is. I was speaking off camera with Joe, the producer, and like I've been through the proper struggles with this platform, just like
Getting like mental block as well, and
grinding
it's like,
through it.
Yeah, and it's prioritizing this and also your day job.
Yeah.
And also you've got a family at home as well, so
Yeah.
it's like fitting everything in. It's like
hard.
crazy, but like mate, it's amazing what you've done, and like I feel like you've really like you're the only one in the industry that's really kept it going.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And it's really, really good to see.
Nah, I appreciate
Really
it,
good
mate.
to
Like,
see.
I've been through the mill, to be fair. Like the
Yeah.
first 10 episodes, I was like loving this.
Yeah, and then it
like
gets to
this is
grind.
just real, mate. Genuinely, like the next
Yeah.
10 episodes, I'm like, I actually can't be asked. Like genuinely, I'm like,
How did you
"Oh."
get past that?
I just thought in my head, like, I've just got to show up. Like, I've just got to release one more episode. I've just got to do one more episode. I broke it down into episodes because, like, at the start, I was like, I want to get to 50 episodes. And then I'd done the first 10, and then I was like, oh, this is actually a slog. Like, every episode's a slog. And it seems silly, but like, recording the episode, the admin behind the episode,
Yeah.
the editing. I didn't do the editing, but I helped with the editing, the short form
Yeah.
clips, the trailers, the copyright, posting, YouTube, TikTok. It's like literally like a full-time job. And then I just thought in my head,
Oh, there is companies out there that literally do it for a living for you.
yeah, I know. And then I'm just like, but like, what the issue I've got is I've got an issue with like,
Paying someone to do it.
not necessarily that. It's more like, I don't know what it is. Like, I need to let go of the control of this podcast. Like, I need to let go and let someone else.
Well, that's like your accountability thing, isn't
Do you know
it?
what I mean?
Like,
I actually do need to do that because I do a hell of a lot myself for this.
see, do you know what? That's one of my good traits is where I can actually handle responsibility over someone. Like, I'm okay with handling, because I've just had a lot of change in my life, like moving around and stuff like that in my life. So like change and handing over things is like quite easy for me. I feel like you just have to
Do it. I've just got to do it. Yeah, I know. And
do.
I feel like, yeah, I just feel like I in the end, mate, I ended up
because you
going-
want this to be enjoyable for yourself. You don't want this to seem like as a second job.
Yeah.
Because your second job is always going to come second to your main job.
It's true.
It needs to be like a hobby for you, really.
I had to break it down into episodes. Like, I'll just be like, oh, I'll record one more episode, I'll record one more episode. And then you build a bit of momentum. I tell you what this has been. This has almost been like a mini building a business.
Yeah.
Sounds ridiculous, right? Because it's a podcast, but
Yeah.
it's almost been like building a business as such, like trying to
Well, it
grow
is a
this.
business at the end of the day.
Pretty
isn't
much,
it?
yeah. It pretty much is.
It's a business that's bolting onto your other business that's making,
Yeah.
hopefully generating, well, it has, because we've obviously passed work, but it's
yeah.
generating you sales, and that's what the tool is there to do. And yeah, it is hard work, but like I said, if it's something that you want to continue doing, I feel like you've absolutely smashed it.
I'm
so
continuing it, mate. Don't you worry about
Yeah.
that. I feel like I'm nearly through the little lull.
there's always going to be a lull though, isn't there?
Yeah, man.
Everyone questions, like I've done it this year as well, where like times got tough and you question your ability and you question your passion for the project.
That was me, mate. That was me on this. I'd be sat there and I'd be like, "And is this?" So like I would get to. I mean, I've recorded maybe 35 episodes, released maybe around 28,
They're
29
unreal
now.
numbers, though.
And then I'm like, but like it got into the lull period. I got to the point where I was like, am I now just regurgitating conversations where no one really wants to listen to this? That was the stem of the thought in my mind. I was like, do people even want to
Yeah, I
listen
remember
to
you
this
saying
anymore?
to me like you feel like you want a different.
I feel like I rinsed and repeat. That's what I felt like. But then I thought, do you know what? I'm actually just going to persevere. Like, I'm just going to, even if I am the only person that listens to an episode, right? As long as I'm building this platform and keeping it going, you never know the possibilities at the end of it. You never know.
You never know, do you? Like, you never know what's going to happen or who's going to come to you. Or
Exactly.
who you're going to meet on the street, and you just ask them if you can do a podcast with them. You genuinely just never know in life, do you? Like, life takes loads of twists and turns. I've learned that. Like, you just never know what's going to come around the corner. But I love that kind of thing. Like, I love like leaving everything open-ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know what that's probably, now we're speaking about, it's probably one of the reasons why I kept it going as well, to be fair, because I'm like, in my head, I was probably subconsciously thinking, Cal, you never know like what could happen. Like there's that you never know element to it where you're like, I'm not giving this up.
Yeah.
But I wanted to leave on some quick-ish fire questions.
Come on.
So I've sent you them already. So
So you've got some for me, and I've got some for you, haven't I?
So we'll go one at a time.
All right.
I'll go first.
Okay.
What's one thing every contractor must stop doing?
got a quick fire. One thing. Just
quick-ish fire.
Just taking money off people, easy.
Love it.
Right. One thing you'd change about the industry tomorrow?
Mate, I've rambled about it, but the throwing people under a bus.
Right, fine.
I'd change that instantly for tomorrow. Worst ever site gone wrong moment.
Wasn't on site, but my cousin Isaac just like driving into a car park and like ripping down a sprinkler pipe. Like it wasn't great. It just wasn't great. Just know the height of your van. Best piece of advice you've been given? Just don't do DMP.
Never pretend like that. Always act like. I want to try and get this word for word, but I can't remember the word for word what it was. But it was something along the lines of, never be in the room where you're the most intelligent person. It was something like that. He said, like, if you're in
Goodwill Hunting.
No, it was like, mate, one of our site managers actually genuinely said to me something along the lines of like, you always need to try and get yourself sat in rooms where like everyone in there knows more than you and is better than you.
That's actually good advice.
It was something, I can't remember exactly how he put it, but it was something like that. Something you secretly love about construction.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the lads on site, like I think they're the best. They're so witty and they're just such genuine people as well. I love them. Right, so your most controversial opinion on the industry? You've written these questions. I thought you'd be giving like the quick fire. You've written these questions.
Nah, do you know what? I wrote them, but I didn't want to read them because otherwise you end up just stuck in your mind trying to answer. All right, I've got one for you. And I'm going to reverse this because you might be thinking it's going to be something like, wow, like really negative, but like it's actually the most beautiful industry in the world, but gets perceived as the least beautiful industry in the world.
Okay, very philosophical of you,
Carl. If you had 24 hours to win a project, what's your move?
What's my move? To win a project?
So say like you had 24 hours to win a project. What are you like? Is there any like adverse tactics you're going against, or is there anything that you think you might throw a spanner in the works to try and win it?
I'd never throw a spanner in the works to win it.
Don't say throw someone in a bus.
No, well, I tell you what, I'd actually do like, I'm going to give like a secret away here, but like, I don't think it's possible.
10% off.
Nah, do you know like people do like drone, like you can create images in the sky with drones. My uncle does it in Australia actually.
Yeah.
I do their GAs and their plans in drones in the sky. Yeah, in like central London or something like that.
Interesting.
You watch now, so one of the big boys would do that, so you can have that. It's copyrighted,
You'll
mate.
see me on LinkedIn next week, like,
doing it. It's like loads of all the paid pennies and all the drones are coming out of the sky. Right, okay, so most painful common misconception clients have?
The amount of money that we make on jobs. And now the reason I say it is because it's less than what they think that we make. Yeah. And obviously when you say clients, like there's professional, there's property professionals in the industry that I'd probably know the score. But when you're going like tenant or end user, the only reason I say this as well is because we had one where we did a 250 grand job and he made a comment at the end of it. He's like, you must be making ridiculous money off that. And I'm thinking, if only you knew how much you would receive off the bottom line after all of this hassle went into it, you would like, it's such a misconception. They think you're just making millions and like, you have jobs like that, you just think, he must be making a fortune. It's like, we actually aren't. No. Like, we're genuinely not. Especially if you've priced it. Let that go. What is, I feel like you might have answered this within our actual podcast, but what is the best business development tactic no one uses? Or best business development tactic you use? See someone, go up to them. Just speak to them. Speak to them. Go up to them, speak to them, and just, be yourself. That skill set, by the way, is just generally speaking to somebody is just, I feel like it's... And if they do, like, also, if you go see them in public and you've tried to reach out to them on like email or LinkedIn and they've read your message, ask them why they ignored you. Call them out. Yeah, it's like a great icebreaker. I feel like it's either going to go one or two ways, isn't it? Hang on, before we move on, I feel like you need to call someone out. I feel like there's a reason behind.
I'm
why
not
you
calling
said
anyone out, mate. I'll do that to your face. They might not be watching.
It's you.
Number one reason why contractors lose deals. But you've had so many people on here. You must have a really good understanding of what you
Yeah,
think
but I'm
people
just
are doing
like,
right or not.
why? There's a few different reasons as to why they. And do you know what I'll go for? I'll go for why subcontractors might lose a deal. Maybe.
Go on.
And this is the only reason why I say this as well, because this is sometimes why it puts me off working with them, is like when they're smarty arsing within the pricing, that does my head in.
Yeah.
And I won't elaborate on that because someone listening might know.
People do it though. People do. They try it on. They try it on. They do try it on. Fair play to them.
Here's one. What is the most underrated role in the industry?
Across the board.
Yeah, like out of all of the occupations in design and build, like what's the most underrated
Design.
occupation?
Nothing would get done if they didn't design it.
No, as in like job wise. So like you've got project managers.
Yeah,
surveyors, designers, underrated. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the PMs get all the glory, and the directors get all the glory.
Yeah, true.
The design, there would be nothing without designers, and they are the heart and soul of everything that is right about trends, everything that developed into this room, and the reason why we sound good in here. Yeah, I feel like they are undervalued.
Interesting.
Right, one thing that instantly most overhyped role.
No, that was right. Number 6, the one before.
Oh, one thing that instantly puts you off a contractor.
I've probably answered this.
You just answered it.
In the previous
that's why
ones.
I got confused.
No. I've basically given you 2 questions there that are similar-ish, but one thing that instantly puts me off a contractor is when, when you've got a site, right, and you've got 15 different contractors and you have one contractor that thinks the whole site revolves around them.
Yeah, do you know what? I've actually got a thing. This guy, I remember going to site with a guy, and obviously I was only young, when I first started, I was like 22, and he was like, "Don't worry, lad, I'll walk the course with you, show you a few things." I was like, "All right, okay." And then he asked me how old I was. I was like 22. He's like 34. Been doing this for 25 years. I was like, "So you've been doing this since you were 9?" Yeah, cool.
He hadn't thought
just
about
like, and that just, I was just like, yeah, instantly put off. So I've answered that question for you.
You have, but it's just, when you've got like so many trades on site, and you've got one contractor who thinks it just revolves around them and they're the most important. It's just
I think that leads you on to your next question. Quite nicely, actually.
What would you consider is the most annoying contractor?
To deal with or just to be on site with?
Just to be on site with.
Electricians.
Yeah,
facts. I think everyone can back me up on that. Like, electricians, easy. Because they leave stuff everywhere. They chop wire and throw it on the floor and they're just like, yeah, well, that's a labourer's job. No, it's not.
And also they think they're the most intelligent.
Yeah, they do. I've changed sockets, mate. I'm joking. They do a really good job.
Yeah, it is, to be fair.
And it is,
difficult.
yeah, but they are annoying. And they want everything out the way. And they don't want any petitions going up. They want to get all their cables in when the wall's not even been built yet. They want to get all their tray up before we've sprayed anything. It's like, or clean the soffit. It's like, just relax. And they just want to be in, get their first fix done. And 2 weeks later, come back and just do it in a week. And it's like,
there's no give and take with them.
No, there isn't.
There's none.
So, what is the most overhyped trade?
The most overhyped trade. The thing is, I'm like just going to mimic what you said. I feel like it is electrician for overhyped. Actually, no. Do you know what I think it might be?
Go
on. Joinery companies. So I'm like, yeah, it does look nice, but mate, it's just a bit of MDF and a bit of wood you've put together.
Oh. And to be fair, these days, the CNC machine's great, isn't it?
Nah, I can't even downplay them. They do a great job. Some of the stuff they do is amazing.
Hey, my old man was a French polisher and joiner, so
yeah.
That's when it was proper hands-on.
Mate, it's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
I feel like we need to shake hands as well.
Are you joking? Right on there? Nah, I'm only joking. Come here, mate. Mate, that was fucking brilliant. Thanks for coming down and coming on for a second time, mate. Like you said earlier, you are the second guest.
I feel honoured. Nah,
mate, nice one. Thanks for coming down, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Nice one, bud.